Hello. How is everyone doing? Hello, welcome in. Hi, Kate. Welcome. I made a huge boo-boo. It's quite terrible, if I'm honest. I thought I read both of them and I finished both of them. And I sat here 5 minutes before and was like, I don't even know who the killer was in book 9. Like, what? And then I, was going through the audio service, but like, maybe I should listen to the last chapter. And it turns out that I have 1.5 hours left of the book. So I didn't even finish. And I had all time today. But I thought I finished the book. And I just found out I did not. So that is a terrible thing. Which also means that you guys have to spoil me. Which is fine. I don't mind it. But kind of in the spoilers direction, I can't really do a lot anymore because I don't know who did it. I apparently did not finish the book. I was sure I did. I was really enjoying it too. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I know what happened there. It's ADHD. That's how it's called. But so I really need your guys' help with the spoiler bits of book 9. Hello, Larissa. So you'll have to leave it. Yeah, well, wouldn't that be fun? You guys chatting and I'm just off screen. That would be so funny, right? I was like, how did you do this? It's a stupid ass thing, but it happened. It was an honest mistake. I have been waiting for this live show all day. I had time to read it, guys. Otherwise I would have read it. But we also did not have a sock knitting live show because it just didn't fit for me. It might fit at the truly end of July, but I think at that point we can, better just do one for the summer tops. But maybe we can take the time now to talk a bit about it. If people want to ask questions, this is the time. I'm very curious how your box of socks is looking. If you started a box of socks, if you want to, if you are inspired to knit socks or crochet them. I think I've done quite well. There are a few pairs that I have finished. So this one I finished like the first day or a day before the sock month. So it doesn't officially count, but it kind of feels like, this start, I was too excited for socks, so I started already. That's what this sock pair is. And then I finished this vanilla pair with self-striping yarn. So I did not do all the color changes. This is just the yarn I just made, which is very helpful. I really like this pair, or I haven't been able to wear them a lot because it is freaking hot right now. But I like the look of them. I also finished this vanilla pair. This is the last pair I finished. This is also self-striping yarn. So just knit again. Hello! I finished the second book about 20 minutes ago. I wish I could say the same, really. I thought I finished it like the beginning of the week, and I found out 5 minutes ago that I have 1.5 hours left. So, you guys have to spoil me. That's gonna be fine, but I need help in the spoiler section. And then I really wanted to do lace cables, both for the first time this month. I had color work in my mind, was like, maybe that's a bit too big, but I did do color work. I still have to duplicate stitch though. But this is my Frankenstein and his bride pair. Yeah, I still need to duplicate stitch. It's very noticeable on the Frankenstein's bride. She's obviously missing her white stripes, the eyes. There is a rack of potions here. But, you know, the rack isn't there, so I need to duplicate stitch that. I need to do some duplicate stitch in Frankenstein's hairline, but not too much. But they're still fun already. I will duplicate stitch them at some point. But not right now. And then I've done the cable socks that I'm very happy with. I think they're very pretty. Do I not focus? They were not as hard as I expected, and that is solely because the cable pattern was easy to recognize. That's what I was the most afraid of with cables, and this cable pattern is very easy to remember, which is a good thing because my mother-in-law, as well as my neighbor who both love knitted socks, loved these. So I plan to make this cabled pair for them too. So, and now I'm currently knitting on lace socks. So this is how it looks so far. I'm very excited. I think they're so pretty. This is with cotton yarn too, so I should be able to wear them, like not on these hot days. I don't wear socks on these hot days anyway. But like this, not too hot for wool socks, but still want socks days. So this is my first time lace. It's a leaf pattern, and this is also gonna be a new heel to me, which is a heel flap and gusset, but from toe up instead of cuff down, how you usually do it. So I'm excited about it. And then there's only one pair I really wanted to do and have not yet gotten to, and that is a crochet pair of socks. But I feel like that might fit. I also have done a DK weight, which is I did fingering held double in 2 days. So like 2 of these strands. So on thicker needles. And I want to make another pair of those because I want to make it with actual DK weight sock yarn instead of fingering held double, because that will change the texture of the socks and it might be better than fingering held double. I don't think I can do all 3 of those in time. But if I could at least get the heel of this one done, get a bit in the leg of just one sock, and then maybe do the crochet socks, that would be great. Then I've basically accomplished all my goals because I will finish the lace pair after this month. It's gonna be fine. You've been busy? Yes, I was very inspired to knit socks. I really wanted to knit socks for a while. I really wanted a box of socks because I love wearing my knitted socks. I think that's the knitwear that I love wearing the most. And I had not enough. So I was very excited to get more, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased. But if you have any questions about sock knitting or the project you're working on, please feel free to ask me. Frankie, yeah, I love Frankie. And it's the first pair of colorwork socks that fit me, because I've learned mistakes with a test knit of colorwork socks. I've not done a load of cross stitching in the past month, but I'm about 2/3 of the way through a pigeon pattern. That sounds lovely. That sounds cute. You know, and you don't have to do as much if you're not feeling it. Like, it's a hobby, right? And we usually want a lot of the end results, and we can get very motivated by numbers, but also feel like we have to obtain a certain amount of numbers, which is not true because it's a hobby. So you don't have to read a certain amount of books or finish a certain amount of projects. It's just for fun. And if you finish one and you had fun, you did it right. If you didn't finish one but you still had fun making it, you're doing it right. Like, if you have 20 and you have fun, then it's fine. If you did 20 and you didn't have fun anymore, it ain't good. you failed. I was going to do sock cross stitch pattern, but I was feeling it, so I'm saving it for that sounds very reasonable. That's great. don't do it when you're not feeling it, because then it's not gonna work out like you want, and you're gonna hate the end of it, and that's just sad. So I am knitting on something else now, and I'm going to try knitting on that today. And this is a summer top. This is what we're gonna start, or one of the things. Like, it's summer tops, like sleeveless or with short sleeves. That is the intention for the next 2 months. If you don't want to do it, you're not doing it. If you want, you can. However, this is a paid pattern, so obviously you can buy that one if you like it, but we have different patterns that are free. So yeah, I still need to do the edging, so it will not be as low as it looks now. But yeah, and it says color changing yarn, so it's gonna be so much fun. I'm a bit of a life slumber. Yeah, I feel that. Honestly, I feel that. Just super stressed with uni work. Yeah, started diamond painting now, lol, because I don't want to cross stitch. Yeah, but fair. If diamond painting is giving you joy, then do it. You need relaxation. If it is a stressful time, that sometimes happens, right? That is once, every other time. That is what's going to happen. And if you need a new hobby that gives you joy, and that will help in that certain time when your old hobby is not, that's absolutely valid. Because I don't want to go. That keeps complaining I'm leaving crafts everywhere. Yeah, fair, but it's good for mental health, that. As long as it helps with mental health, right? That should be the most important thing. So how did you guys like the vampire knitting books? We have read book 8 and 9, which would be Bubbles and Broomsticks and Popcorn and Poltergeist. There is a novella in between, but it's Christmas coded. So we talked previously about maybe reading that in December. We can do that. Maybe, we'll vote again if we want to continue with this series or not. If you all want to continue, then we could definitely read the Christmas novella at the end of the year. But apparently it is set between those books, because that is what my audio service told me. I was like, this was not book 9 that I was supposed to read. Let me find the other one. Boom. That will be a yes and a no. Hi Amy, welcome in, welcome in. I really enjoyed Bubbles and Broomsticks. Yes, Popcorn and Podcast was a bit slow, but I didn't figure out who did it. In that's good. I'm 1.5 hours away from the ending, and I don't know yet either. So I am excited about that. I absolutely love Bubbles and Broomsticks because, as stated on the cover, and the word broomsticks in the title, I don't think this is a spoiler to tell you that there is actual flying on a witch broom, which I was so pleased about. That was so much fun. I love that. So I think Bubbles and Broomsticks, I loved more for the witchy stuff than for the knitting. But then Popcorn and Poltergeist, it is funny to me, the knitting part. Because if there is one stage that knitters and crocheters do, you know, bitch about, because there are many ways to do it, because not every way works for everyone. Let's just say that. And people can get a bit mean about that stage. So that there is a course for that stage, that is very funny to me. Like, I get it. That is actually a stage that people don't like and complain about, because you have to find the way that works for you. So I think in Popcorn and Poltergeist, I really like the knitting aspect, and then in Bubbles and Broomsticks, I really like the witch aspect. I didn't really like the murder part of Bubbles and Bubbles, but I did like yeah, exactly, Larissa. Yes, I agree with that one. I felt it was so sad that there was a death during a wedding. Yeah. That sucked a bit, right? I didn't really like that. But, oh my god, were the knitted bridesmaids sweaters, like, for the hen party? Wasn't that the cutest thing? I absolutely love that part. That was a knitting part in that book that I really enjoyed. I think Popcorn and Poltergeist is my face of her. Ooh, interesting. That's so good. Oh, excited. I like the ghost aspect. But I only have 1.5 hours to go. And we're just now. I'm at the part where Lucy is in the library confronting the ghost as we speak. They just made contact. That's where I'm at. So I expect the ghost content is going up in the last part, but so far it has been more talking about ghosts than actual ghost, if that makes sense. But yeah, then I figured out that I didn't completely read the book. So I don't think I can judge that yet, because I feel like I will get a lot more ghost content from now on, since we made contact. I love the ghost aspect. It was just slow going back and forth to the library. Oh, yeah. So I gave it 3 stars. I think, all right, fair enough. The Rexit, which breaks with it, was weird, just thrown in there. Yeah. And I think it's extra weird because this is actually an American writer. So they trying to do something about British politics felt a bit off. Like, I get that, that is that's a huge part of life at that moment, right? So I get that when you're having this long of a series, you're putting real life events in it that make an impact, and this one did. But yeah, I'm not sure if an American author is the right one to do that, if that makes sense. PMP lost my attention away, and I'm not sure if I know who did it despite reading. Yeah, that's what I assumed I did, and then I found out that I didn't read it. So I get it. So far, it feels less exciting to me than the others. But then I am just at the ghost part. So obviously we'll see how badass the ghost is. That can change a lot for me, for obvious reasons. I think we have all voted, and we will continue with the Vampire Knitting Club. I'm glad to hear it because I love these books. And they're so easy to read, so I enjoy having them every other month. I'm really having a good time with this series. So, Bubbles and Broomsticks. I was really excited about a wedding in the book. I don't know. That can be so much fun. And I think it's a good opportunity for the girls to be better friends and stuff. So I was really looking forward to that because I like the characters and their friendships. And I think this is a good book to display that. And I think it did. I really, really like the hem party. I love the knitted sweaters for it. I think that was the most adorable thing. And I love that they did that because, you know, obviously the bride was not into the usual sashes and stuff. And then she getting a, you know, it's not like royal tiara, but she's getting a real tiara. So that is fun. And then I love that part. And then obviously that bitch showing up, ruining it all. Violet having very drastic plans. That's getting stopped, but then they both agreed that wine would not be dramatic if that happened. Accidentally, of course. I thought that was very funny. I like that. I like that that is the way how they show up for a friend. I enjoyed that part. But I did not like that the murder was on the wedding. So the whole wedding is ruined. I did not like... Alice deserved so much better than that. That is sad for me. That is very sad. William deserved better than that. Although I did enjoy that we got to hear in a podcast that he has now more catering jobs, which he absolutely loves. So that is, I like that. It was funny that it might be implied that Rafe accepted that because he needs to find a maid soon because he wants them to get in there. I did like that. I didn't really care about the murder, if I'm honest. And I absolutely loved the witch part in this. Whereas they once more decided for her that she does not know enough about witchcraft, that she has to learn the basics, and then it's gonna be broom flying, which seems like a great thing to learn. I would love that. And then Lucy obviously loving it, not wanting to tell. I enjoyed it. I really liked that how important the familiar is in that one. Also, nobody wanted to touch her broom, and like, it's inherited. No other witch can use it. That was interesting. But I'm very interested in the witch threat of the Dark Coven. We will obviously see more about it. But yeah. I don't know. I am curious about that aspect, but where that is going. I would love to see some real dark witches. I would not be mad if that is gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen in Popcorn and Poltergeist, but then again, I apparently have not read the book, so it might still, but I don't think so. It's not the book for it. And if it is glanced and I don't like it. Who do you think it did it, Denise? I am not sure, Kate. I am not sure. I don't think we have really strong suspects yet. But so I'm at the point where, oh, that might be a spoiler. The familiar relations are thrown out in the open. They're discovered, right? That aspect alone, and the way that moms feel so threatened for her daughter, I feel maybe the mom, maybe mom's boyfriend, to protect mom and the child. Based on that action alone. Because that is the classic, right? If somebody dies, you look at the spouse. So we have seen a spouse. So that is a suspect immediately. And then, if she would be a bit more fancy and not as see-through, maybe it's the daughter. Because she is very, rightfully so, angry that her dad was not in the life. So, yeah. If I have to guess now out of the blue, because I don't feel like I'm at the part in the book where we actually have strong suspect, I would put it in the familiar grounds. Family is usually in it. Right? I like how for a lot of people, you're not sure if it's a ghost or it's a human. Yes, I do like that, Alina. I like that they imply that they're not sure if it's poltergeist or not. I enjoy that. And I do think the encounters we get from the students are truly terrifying. If that would happen to me, I would be scared. So I do like that part. And obviously anything that happens in the old library is interesting. But you know what also is a theory? I'm just thinking of right now. So obviously the manuscripts from Bronte are missing. That is the whole thing. Mary Shelley's is missing, might I add. Great job mentioning Frankenstein and Mary Shelley. Loved it. And then it gone missing. Not great. That is a part of the story that is not just there for sauce. Or it might be sauce, I don't know. So, and, the dead guy has been known to get in a lot of trouble. So what if he stole them? But then they were gone longer, right? But it could be the librarian woman who killed him because he was selling some of them old books. That could also be it. And we have not seen that angle yet. We just got the source of the missing important and very, expensive books. With personal writing you cannot see anywhere else. So that has to maybe get in somewhere. But I'm not sure if that is a different story of the murders collide. And then he has to do something with them disappearing, right? Or he found them. The librarian did not want that because she stole them and she killed them. So it's either gonna be, it can be both of them. If it is the book thing, right, it must be the librarian or the director and then otherwise family, right? It depends. And that's the thing. People kill for love or money. That's the usual motive, right? And we can do both here. If it's love, it's the ex-spouse or the daughter, most likely, or her new boyfriend. But if it's money, it's got to be the new director or the librarian. So that's my thought. Don't know. Guys, I forgot to read the ending, so I'm not sure. This is no spoilers. This is just me theorizing. And I have no clue If I'm correct. Your guys gonna tell me in the spoiler part. So, Nick's on the broom. Yeah, I love that part. He was so important. The way he walked up to the broom, right? He was so angry that she wanted to leave him alone. He knew that obviously he did not communicate, which he could have because he can send thoughts into her head now. But he chose not to. And just tag along anyway. And then showing her that she needed him to learn to fly. And that was very funny. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I love it, right? Nick's on the broom was a highlight. And I also feel like Nick's really missed flying. Because he was pawing at the broom earlier, right? Trying to convince her to start flying. So yeah, this was his moment. This was Nick's moment. I think that was really cute. Interesting, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, like that is... I think that is the most obvious answer. So I always hope that's not what they're going for. And, you know, it's hard with these books. Because sometimes she is going for that route. Like, they're not the most innovative books, right? Which also includes endings. So we have had books that were very see-through and, you know, you get exactly what you expect. And then she had books where she was like, no, we're not going to do that because that is exactly what you expect. And then she throws in an ending that you could not have seen before because it is randomly there. So, yeah. I feel like it's hard to say with these books. But that makes them fun, right? And just the whole... I love the characters. And I love the coziness of this. I know it's murder, but... all the knitting and the tea and... I loved the friends of the broom. I forgot his name. The groom. His friends. I love them. And I loved how they interacted with the old ladies of the tea shop. And how they get special treatment. And I thought that was so funny. So that is... yeah, I don't know. I think that was... yeah. I liked it. I like the true boys are... like, these were men that the sentence, boys gonna be boys, is made for. But not in a very terrible way, if that makes sense. But they knew. They have charm, they know. They use it. But only to a certain amount, a certain extent. Let me get some more lining. I must say with this one, I didn't get in the ending. The ending makes sense. Yeah, I had that with one before, where it made sense. And it was fine, but we didn't have that angle until like 5 or 10 minutes before the ending. And it was that. So, and it made sense. It was not like a magical ending. But it was also something that is hard to guess because of that. Yeah, no, I got it for Popcorn and Poltergeist. The way they got the what's made them feel right? And I so get Lucy. She was like, they love me. I never got that. They never offered me to do it. I would have felt the same, and that was so funny. Yeah, I love that part. I love the full English breakfast thing. That was lovely. Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. I would also be like, since when? Yeah. But now Lucy knows. And I have a feeling she's gonna ask for that more often. And the others are not being able to say no to her too. So. And they did that on the spot. Poor old ladies. Oh, that must have been so much work. I really like. And also, it was so funny that they hired a kitchen help, but they apologized for her scones, and then they reassured Lucy, like, no, these are my scones. You're good. You can go. We didn't give you her scones because they're not good enough. And I did really like that. Like, Lucy is also getting some sort of special treatment. Yeah, that was funny. That really was funny. Shall we go into spoilers? Or can we talk about Popcorn and Poltergeist without spoilers? That is also an option. Because we mostly talked about Bubbles and Broomsticks so far. I did feel there was a bit of a jump in Popcorn and Poltergeist from Bubbles and Broomstick in timeline. But I guess that is because of the novella in between. They do capture everything in the series in every single book beforehand, so it doesn't matter. You still get a few what happened in the time. So I felt like it's good. If that makes sense. It is a tiny bit annoying that we get the recap of who is who every single book, because we're at book 8 and 9. I get why it is, but this is like my 7th time hearing it. So yeah, it is getting a tiny bit annoying, but I get it, and I don't think it's done in a very obnoxious way. It is just, repeated every single book. Oh, you read it. I think I'm gonna like it, but it's very Christmas heavy, isn't it? It looked like that on the cover. So I wanted to read it during Christmas time if that was the case. And I know we talked about it before, about doing that. So I saved it. I think we noticed it more as well because we were reading it quite... Yeah, I do think so, Elena. I think it is more of how I read the books problem than how it's written problem. If that makes sense. Like, we're just binging the series. I know who people are. You don't have to introduce me to William again. I love William. I know William. I love him. Yeah. At least in Bubbles and Broomstick, he got his way to shine. In the Popcorn and Poltergeist, I haven't barely seen him again. Which is sad. So far, not a lot has happened. That is also not true. In Popcorn and Poltergeist, but not really. So I do really like that Ian Chisholm is getting more and more annoyed every single book finding Lucy at the crime scene. And I think that's rightfully so. But it's really, really funny to me. And if this continues, I expect that he is going to investigate Lucy at some point. And that is very interesting to me. Because Rave is gonna meddle with that. But it also gives them the opportunity to maybe... I don't know if there is a chance of romance there anymore, but... Yeah, it would be interesting if he knew Lucy was a witch. So they can work together, maybe. But then, obviously, Rave is gonna meddle if he's gonna dig. So... I am interested how that is going. I find... Yeah, that was very funny. I also found it funny that the retired cop that we've seen in the shooting incident came back. Because he is in the witch town, right? And that's where they got married. So I found that funny too. I love the enthusiasm of Hester wanting to go to college. Yeah! But look, that part for Hester, I felt Hester. I am so hoping for Hester that vampire is something. Imagine you're a teenager for hundreds of years, stuck with truly old vampires that are even more hundreds of years old than you, but also are stuck at granny or middle-aged age. Like, they're all adults. And you have been stuck with them for hundreds of years in a puerile body. And after hundreds of years, you find out there is one vampire, close by, I might add, from the gender you like, in your age range. I would be very happy about that news too. I would definitely be enthusiastic to get in on that. Yeah. Obviously, I would be enthusiastic about the sleuthing too. So if you can finally do something and maybe meet a nice, cute little vampire of your age. Yeah. Who can blame the girl? Who can blame her? Yeah. To go to college and the bits with the one that talks a lot. Forgot her name. Made me laugh. When he whistles a steak out a wooden spoon while waiting for her. Oh, really? That is so awesome. Oh, I like that. William is amazing. Please stop talking. That is funny. The one that talks a lot is called Silence. And that's why I remember. Because they keep making jokes how, terrible that naming has been. Yeah, Hester going to college. And I loved how supporting Lucy was, and then she immediately regrets it. And I'm like, I get it. But also, obviously, she wants to go to college. She wants to help out all the time. And now she finally can. You gotta have some trust in that girl. She always really tries. She's always there for you if you need her. You can just support her. Yeah, I have seen that the vampire teenager that was not in their group has met Rave. And he approved because he showed them around their gaze. And then I saw that Hester came to Lucy telling he was very handsome. And then trying on all Lucy's clothes. But I have not seen Hester and the boy together yet. So that is something I'm excited about. Yeah. I'm rooting for her. I really like Hester as a vampire. I don't know. I think yeah. I like her character a lot. And I am curious why the vampire boy is not... How it's possible that Rave didn't know. Let's say that. Because he puts his nose in everyone's business. And they all respect him or are afraid of him, so they give him everything he wants. So, being a teenager and able to go against that, that is very interesting to me. So yeah, I'm curious about him and what his motives are. Obviously, he is a stranger, which means everybody who gets introduced in these books is immediately a subject. So he could also be the murderer, but I don't see why. Why he would do that. Unless he stole the books and the janitor found out. Or, no. I don't think he was dating his daughter. And the dude said something about it. I don't think that is going to be the case. So yeah, every new character is also a subject, right? In these books. So it could be the vampire. It could be. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It is kind of fun for me to do a live like this. Because you guys know more than I do. And I'm very curious how it's going to end, actually. So, it is fun to speculate. Because I can do that now. You've already read it. So, I'm always afraid to speculate. Because if I'm right, that might be a spoiler. Because you might see it sooner as well and not enjoy the book as much. And I don't want that. But since you've all read it, I can speculate all I want. So did you guys like the teenage boy? The teenage vampire? Do we like him? Do we not? Is that because he's the murderer? You hardly see him. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's sad. But maybe in the next book, is that an option? Or does Rafe make him move? It would be fun to have a new vampire around. Although I do feel like that some of the vampires have not been highlighted enough. Like Silence, but she's really gonna highlight in the book. So that is good. No, I think we might see more of him. Oh, that would be nice. I would like that. I think. But then again, I also like a badass vampire. So if he's mean, I like it. If he's nice, I like it for Hester. So whatever he does, I think we're good. On my part. So let's put the spoiler thing in. Which means that we're now able to talk spoilers if you have not read the books. And you do mind a spoiler. This is your cue to leave. And come back later. For all the people that are watching this back. Because I think everybody that is live has read it except me. I'm not going anywhere. What we saw of him seems nice. Especially with Rafe. Letting him see their lair. But it's suspicious that he suddenly appears. Yeah, everybody who appears suddenly is suspicious. That is suspicious. But then I do get that, how is the dude called for the blood bank? He didn't share it. They're all mad about it. Currently where I am. But I get it. It is not his story to tell. They're all there for private reasons. So I feel like there is confidentiality going on there. It's not his story to tell, and I do kind of get that he wants a secret that Rafe doesn't have. And you want something for yourself and not have to share with all the elder vampires. I kind of get that too. But also, it's not his secret to tell. So, yeah, I think that was intriguing for me, and I am very curious if the poltergeist is real or not. Let's do Bubbles and Broomsticks first. We can spoil the hell out of that one. But I have the same problem as Larissa. I actually have read that one. Who was the murderer again? It was the brother of the lady, right? Who was suspicious all along. I didn't feel like there was a special ending there, right? The poltergeist is real, but not the murderer. Yeah, I did not expect the poltergeist to be the murderer. Immediately. When they had the questions like, can poltergeist murder? I was like, no. They might be able to, but he is not the murderer. There is no reason, and it's too easy. The poltergeist is not the murderer. He was not, or she is not suspicious to me. Everybody else is, but not the poltergeist. You know what would be funny? If we someday came across a murder that we had to solve and it turned out that it was a murder Violet committed. That would be so funny. I'm very curious how Lucy will be dealing with that. I actually love Lux flying to stop Glenn throwing a literally off the roof. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that I love that part. I love the part, like the whole decision making there. We've just learned how to fly. And there is a situation going on that might, she feels in her gut it requires urgent. But there is not really any clues for that. She just feels it in her gut. And she's like, I can take the car. Or I'll fly and probably be faster. And she decides to fly. That alone, I love. And then she finds the two men on the roof. Oh no, it was the broker thing. Yeah, it was the friend dude. Now I remember. When you said on the roof, I was like, oh yeah, that was the friend. Because of money. So maybe in the next book it should be love that they kill for. Not money again. But yeah, they're how stupid, right? You see him, but I get it. You see a man trying, or willing to throw another off, and he's announcing he's gonna do it now, and you're there. Stop. What you gonna do, girl? I get it, because you're not just gonna let that happen. You can't. But what you gonna do? You're also on a slippery roof now. You can't remember spells for the life of you. I don't think that was really, there was no plan there. And that was kind of funny. And then luckily, her familiar Nyx did have a plan. And I think that was a great solution. And then Detective Chisholm finding her with a fucking broom and a cat on the crime scene again. That was also funny. I did really like that she did the spell for the invisible wall and that he kept trying to walk it. I like that she remembered that on time and did it properly. That will boost her witchy confidence, and I enjoyed that for Lucy. I want her to have that. So that was funny. But I don't think it was nothing. It was not an exciting murder for me. I wasn't as intrigued by it. I really, really enjoyed the witchy stuff of that book. I also need a hangover tea for migraines. Yeah, that I love that tea. I love that. Yeah, but I love things like potion making, and tea is the most real life thing you get to that. And there are a lot of herbal teas that can be very helpful. So I really, really like that aspect about it. Yes, I would like also a hangover tea. I feel like I'm gonna need it next week when we're going to a wedding. I might not drink, I might, I'm not sure, but if I'm ever gonna need one, it's probably gonna be then. But otherwise, not a lot of excitement happened in the book, does it? The murder is quite tame. Like, it's not. That is again another angle we kind of get, but not fully until. We heard that friend is working for the bank once, and then in the end we hear he has the other friend that died has money troubles, but only at the end. And then that's it. That's the plot, which, fine, but not very exciting plot. I think the motive for the murder just came out of nowhere. Yeah, I think they're, like, they have said he's in the banking world once, so that is obviously a tiny hint. And then he has money troubles. The new shoes might be a hint to that. But this is what I mean with sometimes we get endings that are just, the plot is just plotting 10 minutes before, and that is the plot. We get the information 10 minutes before it, and that's why we don't know. Which I'm not in these books for the murder plot. I'm not. So I don't really mind as much with these books. I guess these are murder mysteries, but I'm not here. I'm just here for the knitting vampires. That's it. And the murder is accidentally also there, which can be very fun. If I would really read these books for the murder, I would be super annoyed. Because it is either a tame plot or a plot you can't guess because of missing information you only get at the end. If I would read this for the murder, I want it to be extremely clever. I want to hear the ending and think, oh, we had this hints all along, but I didn't see it. So I think it makes sense. And we got a little bit of hints. So I don't feel it came out of nowhere exactly, but it also is kind of a lame. Mm-hmm. It's easy to say they don't guess my murder if you don't give the information, and then the plot twist is very standard reason for murder, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not hyped by it. I was hyped by the flying though. Hangover gun don't take too long, so would it be? Yeah, that would be nice. And the fact that priests used to help people with gambling issues, but there was no link to the murder until last. Yeah, that's it. But I feel like at least here we got clues that there were problems. Because at one point I was thinking maybe that is something that has to do with the murder. I felt in the other theater book there was a whole reveal at the end in the theater that came, like, we had none of those information, no clues at all beforehand, and it made sense, but it would have been nice if we had some sort of clues earlier. At least in this book we got the clues. I was just really hoping that would be too easy. Because there were clues. And it is just not an exciting reason for murder. It is also not an exciting way to murder. And you're ruining somebody's great day for it. Somebody that you should like. Yeah, no, could have done better. So on to Popcorn and Poltergeist. But you guys really have to help me here, because I'm at this point, right? Lucy just entered the library. And then she tried to reach for a book. And it was taken away. And she was like, I'm here as a friend. And then a book behind her fell. And she put her hands in her hip. And she was like, are you gonna let all the Bronte books fall now? Because that's not very nice to the author, is it? And that's apparently where I stopped listening. So everything after books keep falling when Lucy enters the library for the second time, I don't know. So I feel like I do not have spoilers, because up until this, nothing really happened. We heard ghost stories, we talked to the students. Lucy had a premonition that that woman might die and saved her. That was great. I really like that is another part of her magic that is unveiling, and I enjoy that part. I just forgot to finish. I feel so stupid, Elena. Like, how can you do that? This is HDHD at peak. I was convinced. I read both books. I enjoyed both books. And then 5 minutes before liveshow, I was like, I don't even know who murdered again. That's weird. Let me maybe check the last chapter, and then I find out that they had an hour and a half left. Which obviously I cannot do in 5 minutes. So here we are. I had all the time in the world to read this book. I had vacation. I had time. There was even a moment this week that I was like, I'm so sad I already finished the Vampire Knitting books. I would love to listen to Vampire Knitting books now. Shall I listen to the next ones already? I was like, no, because you're going to forget in 2 months. But here we are. With an hour and a half left. So I will listen to this probably tomorrow or the day after. I will finish it, but I don't mind if you guys spoil me. I do really want to talk about it. It's just, yeah, I can't really bring things up right now because I still need to get the review if the poltergeist is real. I assume so, and you guys just told me it is. But I don't know quite yet how far I am in this book, actually. After that, she runs out the library to Rafe, who comforts her. Is that with a kiss? She realizes she left the scarf behind, but doesn't want to go get it. They go back to Rafe, where Silence was reading the old books. Oh yeah, the knitting diaries. That is interesting though. And I love that Lucy was like, I don't want to read books anymore about how to make the best buttonholes and how to dry flowers. And I was like, I would like to read books about that. That's exactly what I'm currently doing. Trying to dry flowers for some gothic artworks. With bugs and skulls and stuff. And, you know, I am probably the next thing I'm gonna put on my needles after the summer knits is gonna be a cardigan with buttons. And I have no clue how to do buttonholes. So yeah, I would like to learn about that. So that was funny to me. How do we feel about Lucy having this whole inside turmoil about I do like Rafe a lot, but can I be in a relationship with him because he's so much older and he will, you know, outlive me? I will have to pretend to be his mom at some point because of the age gap, because he doesn't age anymore. And she is really considering it. How do we like that? Because I'm not sure where I'm standing on that. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want her to have a relationship with Rafe. I know Judith said in previous live shows that she will end up with one of them. And I assumed from the start it's gonna be Rafe, and it really looks like it's going to be Rafe. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like Rafe, but I don't think I like both of like them in a relationship, if that makes sense. She's telling them about this hair bouquet thing she wants to make and is reading on to find out how to make it, but finds the book chains. And it's actually the missing Bronte. Really? That is interesting. So how did they do it? Did they glue pages over it? Did they use a spell? That is fun though. And I'm glad for Silence that she does a major discovery, because she is not allowed to help sleuthing. So I love that when she's finally allowed, she does a major discovery. She's not gonna be silenced about that. I do kind of like that for her. Rafe and Lucy came up with this idea to get whoever stole it before to find out, and they lay in wait back at the library. In the dark, the billionaire guy arrives from Bronte Book, and Rafe and the headmistress stop him and take him with them to her office to call the police. The headmistress asks Lucy to keep an eye on to Bronte, which she does when she gets the sense to turn around. I think they should go full time. But I don't think she's willing to turn. I don't think Lucy is willing to turn. But I agree. I think that is the only way to get in that relationship, both as vampires. And I don't think she's willing to turn. She has thought about it though. Kate is really, getting me on a cliffhanger there. Keeping me on that cliffhanger too, might I add. Now I'm very curious, Kate. I do love that you're typing this out for me, honestly. I might be teasing you right now, but I do love this. So was it the billionaire or the headmistress? I think the headmistress. Because that is one I specified as a subject earlier, not the billionaire. I think he's just sauce. But maybe he's not. Ooh, we get it. She does turn. And luckily, She does, because a bust of Bronte was coming for her head, having been pushed by the professor who got injured. Oh, yeah, the lady. The one who was supposed to go to the knitting class. Yeah, the one who was new in town and didn't have friends. Well, if you were throwing busts against people's heads, that's kind of why you don't have friends. That is not a good way to make friends. So did the professor do it? That is fun. That is fun. Because she has been there all the time and she was really a wolf in sheep clothes. That would be fun. If she did it, I like that. I do like that. I like how the ending is shocking but doesn't come out of nowhere because she's clearly obsessed with Bronte. Yeah. Yes. That makes absolute sense to me. She has been there the whole time. I like that. I like that. This is a very valid, not guessed ending to me. I do enjoy that. Yeah, I like that. She did, and she killed the original headmistress, as she wanted those missing manuscripts for herself. Oh, the bitch. Oh no, I did not see that coming. That is fun. I like that. That is a lot of fun. Now I remember. Got distracted by her accent. Oh, I love it. Oh no, I like that ending actually. I do. That's a good ending. So she ain't following knitting classes anymore now, is she? Oh, and then the girl was right all along. She did not like the professor. And she had good reason to, because she's a bitch. That is fun, because we always assume that was a great teacher, that she's such a lovely woman. And that she would truly be there for her students. But does she? Because she's stealing things and murdering people for it. That is fun. I like that. I like that ending a lot. That's a good book. She goes from Psycho Dragon leads towards the ladder that the caretaker fell down. Oh, I love a good Psycho. Oh, I like that. That's funny. That's a good ending. So do we end up helping the poltergeist or not? Do we get to know what the poltergeist wants, or is the poltergeist just there to prank everybody and have fun? I love Ray showing her as flowers. Did you feel guilty that Lucy got hurt? Yeah. But he was willing to put her at risk with a poltergeist. And then when things turned sour, he said about it, like, you should have thought of that, Ray. You put her in danger. You used her as bait before. Remember the scarf that was left? Yeah? Whose scarf was it? Was it the ladies? Lucy talks to the poltergeist who weren't... Lucy talks to the poltergeist who weren't Lucy. The poltergeist is that headmistress. Oh, that's a good twist. So I guess now that the manuscripts have been found, she's at... Oh, I love that for her. Oh, I do like that the headmistress is the poltergeist. I like that. I was wondering if it was her. But I was like, why would she ruin her own library? There's a gala or whatever to celebrate the manuscript were found, and the school's not in danger of closing anymore. While the headmistress is talking, Lucy sees the scarf glowing. Oh, out of the window, off into the night. It was the murder headmistress. Oh, I like that. I love that. That is a cute ending. That is cute. That is a strong ending. I do think that is the strongest ending we've read so far. I get it, Elena. I get why you like this book so much. I think you're right. This might be the strongest ending we've read. Although I do like that Nan is turned into a vampire. That was good too. And at the very end, Lucy takes her arm out her sling to hold Rafe's hand. Aww, I don't know. I like that. I don't know if I want them in a relationship or not, guys. I don't know. I think the only way I could approve is if they're both vampires. So, in a perfect series, but it's not, because the series hasn't ended, but she also, it has no inspiration to write more books. So I don't think she ended it properly. But in Perfect World, Lucy would die catching the last murderer. Almost die. And then, same as her granny, got turned because it was undead or truly dead. And then she can have a relationship with Rafe. And then if people don't know that she almost died, she can just still run the shop. She just has to move every few years. And then her granny and her can set up a vampire knitting shop all across the country. And they just, you know, interchange who runs them. Because of the not aging part. I can see it happen. That would be acceptable to me. But also maybe part why I don't like them in a relationship is because Rafe is extremely old school and has no real understanding of female rights. Whereas Lucy does, and I don't want to give her to give that up. And I don't think Rafe is gonna learn fast enough about feminism and stuff. So that's why also I don't like them together. And the idea that she is stuck with him as a vampire might also be alarming. But then at least they both have time to learn how to deal with that issue together. Then she has time to smack him around if he's wrong. I do like that idea. Yeah, I think that would be fun. But it's not going to happen. Because I don't think she intentionally ended the series. I saw her on Facebook mentioning once that she just did not have the inspiration to write another book. Even though that is her most popular series. So she gets a lot of requests for it. But she hasn't... The writer has gone through a lot. What I've read in snippets the last few years. So she kind of is not really inspired to write. Specifically this series. Okay, I think that's why she's trying other series. And I'm still curious about the bookshop one. I think that could be a cute one. Is there anything else we want to discuss still? Because obviously, I do not. I have nothing. I just like that. I like the ending you guys described to me. I did not see that coming and I really enjoy it. Are we aiming for the end of July for the next 2 books? Just want to see if I need to try and install them into the retail. No. I believe. Let me check for a second. Yeah. So in July, we're reading for the Pains of Mischief book club, which means that we're gonna read Yesterday Crumb 3. I don't have it. I still have to buy it. So in July, we will be reading Yesterday Crumb book 3. And then in August, kind of end of August, we're doing the live show for the next 2 books in this series. Because Yesterday Crumb is set for July. And July is going to be a heavy gaming month for me. So I don't think I can do that beginning / halfway of July. Both the 7th and the 8th are 2 games coming that I'm extremely hyped about. So you do need to fit in Yesterday Crumb 3. Yeah, I think the live for these 2 was early in the month. Yes. Yeah. And Yesterday Crumb was a bit later. So we're now all caught up again. We could now do them as planned. As usual, before I muddle things up. Because we had to catch up on 3 live shows or something like that. And then, yeah, that's kind of why the sock knitting one didn't win. Because I just could not fit it in and I'm very sorry about it. I was so excited. Same for the sock 101 video. I couldn't. And I'm really sad about it because I really want to. And I had gathered a lot of information and stuff to show you. So yeah, it's a bit sad, but this was just how life went. And it was this or burnout for me. So I'm sorry. It's this. This is all I could do right now. And I hope it's getting better. Last week I was in London and we had loads of fun. So I was there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We had a blast. We loved the hotel we were staying at. And we loved the pub. Right across it. And then we went to London Zoo, which I was pleasantly surprised by. Because I usually don't like city zoos because of their small habitats. But they had pretty good habitats. And they just chose lesser species, which I think is a good choice to make. I'd rather see good habitats and less animals than the other way around. And we went to Warner Bros. Studios because Job hadn't seen it yet and he really wanted to. So we're currently doing a Harry Potter marathon again because he's into it now again. We do not support J.K. Rowling. We do not support J.K. Rowling's thoughts. She is an idiot. But she had one good idea, and that is the world of Harry Potter, and the actors are really good. And a lot of them have said they also do not support her. So I want to make that clear. But it is, yeah. I don't know. I like the world. And I fell in love with that world before there was a lot of issues with her. So we're not totally giving up on it. I'm not doing as much with it as I once did. But I do want to specify that I do not believe in her beliefs at all. But we had a lovely time there. You found it fantastic. And then the last day we went book shopping. I went to the Disney store and I found a Mickey Garden Club t-shirt, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, we had a great time in London. Everybody was nice again. I've been in London twice. It's not that much. But both times all people were nice. I went to Oxford one day and they were all terrible. So, I really like London. Yeah, it has been good. It has been good. I flied for the first time ever. So yeah, it was a fun experience. Oh yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it, Alina. Don't worry. I also purposely do not speak a lot about it on the internet and only in Discord because I don't want people to know 2 weeks before that I'm gonna be gone a whole week or for a certain amount of days. Jake's gonna have to fend himself in July, in the first week of July. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, Kate. Yes, I feel seen now, thank you. I am so excited about this. So yeah, in the first week of July, Moonlight Peaks is going to come live. It will be released. It will be on the 7th of July. I highly recommend it. If you like farming simulators like Animal Crossing, what's the other big one? I've played Fae Farm too, but that's not the one it's usually get compared to, but it sort of does. If you like stuff like this and you like vampires and purpley aesthetics or darker aesthetics or black and red, Stardew Valley, yes, thank you, Kate. This game, probably gonna be for you. There is currently a free demo that you can play. They even updated the demo because they were featured in Steamfest. So they added more hairstyles, fixed some bugs and stuff like that. I am still playing the demo. I've just started it for the third time, and I'm making a farm. I already can't stop playing this game. I absolutely love it. But it is releasing on the 7th of July. The day after that, on the 8th of July, we just got announced that Disney Dreamlight Valley is releasing a Winnie the Pooh expansion pack. I love Pooh. I love Disney Dreamlight Valley. I was expecting that they call it Adventure Pack, which is a tiny bit different than a DLC. It is smaller, but we're getting so much content in it. So I expected it to be quite pricey, but it's not that bad. It is 70 euros, which I did not expect. I expected like 25 at least. And it's releasing a day after. Like, I don't have time. I want to play Moonlight Peaks then. But, my best friend plays Disney Dreamlight Valley. She's going to be all about Pooh the day after. I'm going to get FOMO. And I don't have a lot of people that are playing Moonlight Peaks. So if you're going to get Moonlight Peaks, Kate, you're the first. And that sounds amazing to me. I'm glad I can talk about it to somebody then. So yeah, that is It's a game heavy month. And then for Mike as well, there's Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. Poor Jack. Is there any game for Jack that is releasing that month? Because he's gonna need it. He might need to start downloading Finch right now to tell him when to eat and drink because mommy and daddy don't have time. Oh, yeah, that is a tough month. That is an expensive month for you guys too, Kate. Because I feel like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed are more expensive games, right? They're in the like 60s and 70, maybe 80 euros part instead of the 35 for Moonlight Peaks and 70 for Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'm glad. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I'm sad that I couldn't meet any of you. That would have been fun, but I guess that is just a reason that I have to come back and go to London once more. I would not mind at all. I would stay at the same hotel as well. It was so good. And just go to London with school the 7th and 8th. Oh, that is good timing. So what is the plan, Kate? Is it as soon as Moonlight Peaks release, play Moonlight Peaks up until the release time of the Pooh pack and then play Pooh? Are you gonna, give Moonlight Peaks a week and then play Pooh? I hate that they release a day after each other. Could they not have done August for Disney Dreamlight Valley? Give me a month to play Moonlight Peaks. Give me a month to hyperfocus on Pooh. Like, I get it. That is the 100th anniversary. I played Speedstorm all week. Because they had a Winnie the Pooh pack, or like for 2 days. Because I had 2 days to get a Winnie the Pooh pack with their paid coins. So I had to raise a lot to get the paid coins. Because you can earn some in the game. And I had 800 still needed. But then I could buy all 3 Pooh racers. So I now have Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, and Tigger as racers. Today I've only played The Sims because I'm doing the Origin Legacy Challenge. I like that. And I feel like I really like gaming. But it does not relax my nervous system as knitting does. So when I'm overstimulated because of work and sporting, I really need to knit more. So I have less time to game. So this week, all I've done is game. I love it. I play Moonlight Peaks. I play Speedstorm. I played a bit of Disney Dreamlight Valley and the Hercules Star Pet. I played The Sims all day. I'm having a great time. Yeah, but like next week, I don't have a lot of time to play anymore. So I'm just taking my time now. Not sure how much the Call of Duty is, but Assassin's Creed is 50, so I treated him to it as, join British Father's Day. That I like that. That is sweet of you, Kate. Well done. That is he loves that. That's great gift. Not Eddie, to be honest, but you just know that that'll be when I get a bike drink. Oh no, don't jinx it, Kate. No, don't jinx it. Don't say it like that. Knock it off, Wood. Knock it off. Knock it off at Wood. You can't. No. I refuse, Kate. No. You can have a migraine the week before or 2 weeks later. But not then. So better get the migraine pills ready. Get them peppermint. The oils for them. I don't know. How's the part called in English? That seems to help people. Also, ice on your feet to get the blood down and out of your head. You should try all the tricks if that happens to get play. Temples, thank you. In Dutch, it's called slap, and that's all I could think of. I was like, that's not it. Absolutely not it. But I don't know how it's called. And there is no way I'm gonna think about it now. Alright, that was fun. I am very excited. Are you gonna play? Larissa, you played the demo of Moonlight Peaks. Did you like it? I haven't heard. I don't think so. Or I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I forgot. I think I've only heard you talk about it when you just started, and then you liked it, but obviously because you just started it, and otherwise you would not have started it. So I feel like, how many hours did you get in, and are you still liking it or not? I got a lot of hours in Moonlight Peaks in that demo. Didn't go for all right. That's fine. If you don't like it, that is absolutely fine. If you want to play it on your own time and do little by little, but you like it, that's also fine. Like, I feel like it has to be your thing. Job thinks he likes it. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And he likes it. Like, he likes farming simulator games. But he mostly likes it because he can play it not with me, because it's not a multiplayer. Thanks God. Because that sometimes it ruins games for me. It ruined Fae Farm for me, playing together. Because he gets bored easily. So he doesn't want to play anymore. And then I'm waiting for him to play, and I can't play my game. So I didn't really want to play Moonlight Peaks together in one farm. But that is not an option, so that's great. But he really likes that we're both having a farm, because he likes, I'm going to talk about it a lot. I'm going to be obsessed about it for like a couple of weeks. So that keeps his interest peaked, so then he can play it for longer too. That's what he likes about playing together. So and it is a farm, so he's really considering that game too. And I would not mind, because I'm gonna buy it on my Switch, and he will then buy it on Steam. So if he stops playing it eventually, I can borrow his game on Steam, and I have it both on my PC and on the Switch. So I would not mind if he got it here. Because life happened. Yeah, fair. Life keeps happening, Larissa. It should really stop doing that. It should really go how I planned it. That would be great. But that's unfortunately not. I don't think that's the case for anyone. Would be great. If you ever find that. The solution of how to plan your life, that it actually goes like you planned, and you can do all the stuff you want and all the stuff life wants you to do, then let me know, please. I would be interested in that information. And I have too many. Yeah, would not know. I don't know what you mean. That is not an option. You never have. Please tell me. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. But they're also fun. That's the problem. I currently want to play 5 games for Sims, Moonlight Peaks, Distant Dreamlight Valley, Speedstorm, Planet Zoo, but then also Roller Coaster 2, because they have the new petting system, and they're getting parades. And that seems really fun to me, and then I can already get used to that. For Planet Zoo 2, that comes out in October. I do not have time to play that many games. I barely have time to play the games I want to play now. And then I, also read, knit, crochet, and just bought an embroidery kit. And I'm making artwork, or not art. Artwork is a big word. I have insects that died by themselves, and people keep bringing them to me, and I want to frame them. And make a bit of a nature display with them. So I bought some wooden pieces and some moss, stuff like that, and frames. And I really wanted to do that in my vacation, but I haven't gotten yet to it. And my vacation is up until Monday. Monday is, I'm still off. It's not really vacation anymore. I'm always off on Monday. And the plumbing guy is coming then, so I don't think I can do a lot. So 2 days. Tomorrow my father-in-law is coming, so I ain't gonna craft that. So maybe Sunday. We'll see. But I think that's it for tonight. That's all we have to chat about. We have talked about everything: knitting, crocheting, books, and gaming. That's all I do, people. This is all I got. Thank you so all for being here. We did vote, and you all voted that we do want to continue with the series. So we will be reading book 10 and 11 in August. Next month we will be reading Yesterday Crumb book 3, which I'm also excited for. That is finishing another series or trilogy. I still need to buy that book, but that is going to be exciting too. I hope from on next week the live shows will just be on YouTube again on Monday. But we'll see. Next week is going to be a very busy one. So I would not be surprised if like the live show in 2 weeks is going to be we'll see then if I can actually do it. But it's all exciting stuff next week, so no problem at all. Go to get a cup of tea and read on the couch. That sounds lovely. I'm gonna try and water my plants. I hope to see you all later this week somewhere or next week. And until then, have a lovely time and don't bake too hard for yourself, please. Bye!